After the original reveal of Vanillaware's tactical RPG Unicorn Overlord back at Tokyo Game Show, plenty of brand new details have been revealed to multiple developer interviews and their official website being updated. So in this video, I wanted to give all of you a little bit about everything you need to know regarding this franchise catch-all set of information, since there's plenty to go over and it's looking to be a rich experience for tactical or strategy RPG players out there. First and foremost, in an interview with Famitsu, the producer, director, and game designer recently confirmed that basically the game will be about 50 hours long if you just focus with the main story, and about 100 hours worth of content are there if you focus on trying to do pretty much all of the side content there. They are also talking about the fact that there will be an introduction of about 60 or so different characters available with you to bring across pretty much from the entirety of the game. So there's going to be a hefty amount of recruitment. But if you're still wondering, well, what the heck is Unicorn Overlord? First and foremost, yes, it is a relatively ridiculous Japanese anime video game name. That is not much of a surprise, since basically Vanillaware is relatively known for doing that kind of stuff with Square Enix alongside it as well, although this is an Atlas title. This is a game though from the creators of Odin Spear, Dragon's Crowd, and 13 Sentinels, celebrating essentially their 20th anniversary. As Atlas and Vanillaware's partnership reaches this milestone, their next creative challenge is tackling the strategy RPG genre, embarking on a royal adventure where you fight along trustworthy allies and gorgeous high-definition graphics, expansive worlds with plenty of exploration, and innovative tactical battle gameplay, all in a classic Vanillaware style. Featuring vibrant worlds with timeless classic strategies experience, where the game includes unique battle systems with online battle modes being added for the very first time for modern audiences. Unicorn Overlord provides a fresh, nostalgic experience unlike anything that came before it. In their official website, which of course I'm going to be leaving a link in the description below, they give us a little bit of a story overview where they talk about the fallen prince and the rise again of a brand new kingdom where legends are still lighting its own path. The story takes place on a continent of Fervith, a land home to 5 different nations: Cornea, Drakenhold, Elheim, Bastorias, and Albion, inhabited not just by humans but also other races such as elves, angels, and a race of beast folks, and even bestials as well. Throughout, of course, some of the images you should be able to see there in the trailer, and some brand new gameplay which I'm going to be trying to showcase in the back of this video. This was actually showcased originally through the official Tokyo Game Show stream that they held, but a couple of people ended up kind of capturing some of that, so I'm going to be leaving a link in the description below for that, for the original video upload as well, for you guys to check out if you so desire. In their story introduction, they also mentioned that after Cornea's general Valmor rebelled against his nation and the royal family, he starts to wage a war that will soon tear the entire continent apart. Elaine, the protagonist of the game and the prince of Cornea, flees from his home during the uprising and is chosen as the lead liberator's army that will free the subjective land of Teverith. 10 years have passed, and with the legendary ring of unicorn in hand, Elaine raises the flag of rebellion to lead his people from freedom. So pretty much you are just trying to take back what you think is yours because you pretty much lost it to a relatively bad video game villain. Typical stuff there, doesn't necessarily bode a lot of confidence there, but usually the story in these type of games isn't really the thing you probably want to play it as. It's of course the visuals and the gameplay mechanics. And before we get to the actual gameplay mechanics, one of them is the exploration. Freely traverse the expansive world as you gather new allies, forge new bonds, and lead the liberation to a glorious victory. Cultivate a grand army of over 60 unique characters, from human to elves to massive beasts and even heavenly angels. Traverse a vast overworld to liberate Fevrith from the Zenoian Empire rule. Reclaim your world and rebuild them to gather materials and train your allies, gather your strength, and face even more powerful foes. Players can use characters as they see fit, forming powerful units to take into battle. It is up to you, the commander of the Liberator's army, to decide who to send forth and what tactics to employ. So there's a lot of here freedom for player expression. One of those things that will let you express yourself is as you explore, the battles will become anything that you want them to be. Players can freely traverse the overworld map and recruit new allies, fight new enemies, and liberate and rebuild cities in any order that they want. You'll then, of course, get to choose a route and which battles you wish to engage in said route. So, of course, freedom of progression, freedom of exploration is one of the things you need to know. Liberating upon the Febrith, or basically as you defeat the Sonoian army forces, you get to control towns and fortresses. You get to dictate law and order, which basically restores the land and gains access to different facilities such as armorers and provisioners. Wandering enemies may also be defeated, making future even easier for you to explore. So you pretty much can gather control of different towns, different cities, different areas to not only, of course, be able to have access to amass riches and, of course, be able to craft more things as you recruit those people under your control, but at the same time, you are also going to be able to make things a little bit safer for everyone. Actually, though, when it comes to combat, things begin to get a little bit more interesting. Command your troops and defend your command posts, and strive for enemy lines. Within each battle, both sides fight to take on each other's commanding post in thrilling real-time combat. You, the commander, must keep a close eye on the situation and make critical decisions like which units to send out and to where. Victory is secured once you regain conditions in your favor, such as defeating enemy generals. So in typical fashion, you're going to have a handful of units. They're going to be holding a town, and you are pretty much set to engage with smaller units at first, but eventually more powerful ones as you get closer to their commanding officer. The second you take commanding officer down or meet any sort of other battle request that they might necessarily have, maybe rescue someone or whatever the case is, you get control of that land. Individual battles begin when your units makes contact with the enemies during battle. Coordinate your unit's tactics in advance with conditions and determine how and when skills will automatically be used. Balance your allies' classes and skills from the strongest units in the situation and watch the battle unfold. From your characters, automatically engage in combat. Adapt to improve your tactics and learn from the recruits of battle. So not only do you have the freedom to be able to, of course, let them fight automatically, which is one of the traits for Vanillaware games, but you also get to control manually pretty much every single one of the actions, every single one of the attacks, if you so desire. One of the things that they also talk about here is the freedom of difficulty. There are 3 difficulty levels to choose from. Sweet, which is a difficulty focusing on story for players looking to win battles without much of difficulty. I like to make fun of this by basically saying that usually the easiest mode is called reviewer mode, where reviewers, usually people who are rushing out a video review for, of course, clicks purposes or an article needing to meet a specific deadline, they just put the game on easy and try to plow through the game as fast as possible. So that is basically the way that I view easy mode nowadays. Although there is, of course, a normal mode, a difficulty focusing on tactical gameplay for players who may be unfamiliar with the strategy game. And of course, you have a hard mode, a hard difficulty focusing on punishing your tactical mind on its limits and players who are skilled or strategy games. So you're going to have a couple options there to be able to mess with. However, one of the best features being added in here is the online mode. In the Coliseum, you can also partake in player versus player battles against other player units. Assemble your best team and aim for the top. Basically, you're going to be able to kind of like set up your entire squad of any one of the 60 players that you end up recruiting, set up your best team. Maybe you'll get thrown into a random map and off you go. It looks a lot of fun there from what we've been able to see. And of course, there's gonna be like ranking stuff and rewards to be gained if you take out the other enemy units. So there's a lot going on with this game. Certainly, I've seen a lot of people giving praise, of course, to the visual look of it. But hopefully in this video, you guys got to learn a little bit more as to what it is you should be expecting for another Vanillaware awesome looking game. Of course, visually, it just looks amazing, but of course Interestingly, they're going with a strategically focused RPG experience, which they've done side-scrolling action-type games before, and now they're going to try to do something a little bit different. So hopefully this one hits for sure. As it launches, I believe I said this at the top of the video, but I just want to make sure, March 8th, 2024 on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, and I believe PC as well, but they don't mention that here. Or I believe it's actually not coming to PC if I remember correctly, because someone was complaining in the video replies before in one of the original trailers that there wasn't a PC version, and there's also not an Xbox One version as well, interestingly enough. So there you go. If you're brand new to my channel though, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.